All right, Daryl from Project Awaken here. We're here with some friends from Japuza, a band called The Unfortunate, and we're here at Cornerstone again in Bushnell, Illinois. And I just want to kind of hear from you guys. What's the motivation behind the band? Why do you guys do what you do?
Well, can I start with?
Yeah. You're going to do
Actually,
most of the talking.
it's really incredible that you just asked that question, because me and Brock and Joby were talking and about like having a mission statement and like a vision for why we do what we do, so that we'll remember that. And and so Brock asked me to type up kind of like my thoughts and so we could form it into a mission statement. And the sentence that stands out to me that I was able to give to Brock and Joby was that we desire to cause Christians to question religion and force atheists to consider faith.
Wow.
And that's, I don't want to, I don't think we want to play for an audience of, we're not necessarily trying to play for the church. We want to play for anyone who will listen.
Yeah.
And that's kind of our heart.
Awesome.
So, yeah,
Awesome.
playing dives and bars and places where maybe the traditional Christian band wouldn't necessarily be able to get their foot in the door.
Yeah,
So
great.
that's kind of where we're at.
That's really cool. And I guess I just want to have each one of you answer. We'll start with Brock. What was kind of the motivation behind being in the band? Like, what kind of was there like a moment where there's like, man, this is why I'm being in the band. This is why I'm doing it.
Yeah. Well, a couple of years ago, Amy and I started this project, and eventually quickly turned into a band. But at that time, Amy had just kind of quit playing with another guy. And he went on to go form his own solo project. And so she was just kind of left just playing worship music and whatnot. And so we were on a worship team together at church. And, for probably 3 years we were doing that. The past 3 years we've been doing worship stuff. And, soon after Max left, her former bandmate, I really got thinking about, just her gift of singing and her songwriting. And I really felt like it really needed to be heard. And she had some really great messages that I felt could really stand to be heard. So I prayed about it for a while. I didn't tell her about it, but I prayed about it for a while. And I really felt convicted that we should start something.
Yeah.
And, and it was, I've been playing in bands for years, but this particular band I felt more strongly convicted, actually probably the only band I felt convicted to be in, than, probably any other band that, I've been with. And so, I talked to her about it, and she was like, well, yeah, I'll pray about it, and came back a week or so later. And,
Awesome.
Really, I was so excited that he was going to do it. I just had to pretend like I...
Yeah, she acted all pretentious at first. Well, I don't know if you're good enough to play with me, We'll see.
Yeah, right.
Awesome.
Well, I've got a weakness that pretty much anybody who asks me to play music, if I'm not busy, like whenever they're asking me to play or whenever, I'll probably at least give it a shot. And it was late October, a year and a half ago. I was traveling with them to something else, not playing with them at all. And they were saying how nice it would be to have an upright bass in their band, which I didn't play at the time. And that was kind of like something that pushed me out. I wanted to learn to play bass, and that was something, having somebody else who wanted me to learn to play bass was kind of a good push to do that. And a few months later, the opportunity came up, and we started working out parts to the songs that they were already playing. And actually, what's been really cool and really unique, like I said, I have played with a lot of different people, but with Brock and Amy, what's been cool for me has been right from the very first practice that I was part of. I feel like I've actually been, even songs that they've been playing the whole time, been part of the creative part of the band more than I've been before, suggesting arrangement ideas. And at this point, definitely of any band that I've been part of, I would say The Unfortunate, I felt like more part of the creative process than anything else, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Great. Yeah, it helps that there's only 3 of us, and so everyone gets a third of the
Creative rights.
Yeah,
We're
creative
family.
rights, and,
Yeah.
and so
Awesome.
yeah, it's really
Yeah,
fun.
so the motivation for you to start the band.
Yeah, I really, I pay close attention to people's lyrics.
Yeah.
I always have, you know. Probably the first thing I'm drawn to is a voice, you know, the style of a singer. And then, I mean, right after that is what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And I really value people who can write about their faith in a way that takes people off guard.
Yeah.
And I have no problem with offending the church. I mean, I look at Christ. I think the people he yelled at and the people that he called out in public were the leaders in the church. And the people that he partied with and he ate and drank with were the pagans and were the prostitutes and the tax collectors. And so for me, you know, I think we have to give people Christ the way that they can receive him.
Yeah.
And you know, my father, he's a musician as well, and he's just first, before a musician, he's an evangelist, and that's what he would tell you. And that just isn't who I am.
Yeah.
I really respect St. Francis and his whole way of thinking, you know, preach the gospel at all times, if necessary, use words.
Yeah.
I want people to recognize something different by the way that we treat each other on stage. And I want people to leave our shows questioning and wrestling with the things that we talk about through our music. So
Yeah, for sure. Great.
that's our heart.
Cool. Well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. How can people get a hold of the music? Is it online, MySpace, anything like that?
Yeah, it's online. It's on MySpace. It's www.myspace, The Unfortunate Band.
To